Hey there friends, welcome back to Let's Play Rockin' Cats. As usual, we're going to start things off in the shop here and pick up the jet sneakers, which is our last equipable item. And the shop also sells extra lives for 500 bucks each, which you can buy as many times as you want. We didn't have quite enough for those just yet, so let's play money-making game. The pipe toss game here is by far the fastest way to make money. You just grab the balls that fall down on the left and throw them in the pipes on the right, like so. The game ends once time runs out, or once you make 8 shots in any pipe, so you always want to be going for that $70 pipe at the top there. If you get all 8 shots in that one, you earn $460, which is almost enough for a 1-up right there. Now, this game is a little bit finicky, and it requires a little bit of precision to get the balls in the pipes, but it's not nearly as difficult as the basketball game, and the timing here is perfectly consistent and pretty simple. Once you figure it out, it is very easy to get the full 460 payout every single time you play. If you want to just buy everything in the shop as quickly as possible, abusing this minigame is definitely the way to do that. And it's also a decent way to farm lives if you're having trouble somewhere as well. I think I'm good on lives for the moment, so let's start with the next stage. In terms of difficulty, this one's quite similar to the previous stage, I think, mainly in that it has just this one really difficult jump later on where first-time players are likely to lose all of their lives trying to figure it out. It also has these gunslingers here that hide under their hats, and that's kind of annoying to deal with. You'll see these guys no matter when you play this stage, but there will be more of them depending on how many stages you've cleared beforehand. As usual though, health refills are pretty frequent here, and the enemies don't do a lot of damage, so it's not too difficult to handle. And if you are wondering, I'll show off our new jet sneakers later on once I have use for them, so don't worry about that. These signs up ahead here show that we were in Atlus town up until now, which is a really cute touch, I think. Although I don't know if we're meant to infer anything from the fact that like half the buildings in Atlus town are apparently bars. Anyway, something amazing is about to happen here. I hope you guys are ready for this. It's a situation where the bomber is actually useful for something. Savor that, because there isn't another like it for the whole rest of the game. This trio of totally not racist Indian dogs is the mid-boss for this stage. The chief up there on the totem pole is your main target, and the purple rain dancing guys are just invincible, but your attacks will stun them for a moment, which can be quite helpful. The boss's pattern is really simple, you can see it right here, but you don't have a lot of room to maneuver on the platform, and the wind is constantly pushing you back, which can make it a bit tough to jump over the purple guys consistently. And this is exactly the sort of situation where the jet sneakers come in handy. Unlike the other items that change your punch attack, this one lets you hover in the air for a few seconds by holding down the jump button. Also, you probably noticed that I cut it a lot closer than usual against that mid-boss. Another thing that the game does to maintain its difficulty curve is that it increases the damage dealt by bosses depending on how many stages you've cleared. All of the bosses deal half a heart of damage to start off, and once you've cleared one stage, then all of the main bosses will start dealing a full heart of damage. Once you've cleared 3 stages, then the mid-bosses will also start taking off a full heart. We're on our 4th stage now, so that's why Chief Sitting Dog back there almost made a fool out of me. The obligatory vertical section for this stage is a bit different from the others in that you're going downward rather than climbing up, which is a bit less fun in my opinion, though they did still throw in a fair bit of swinging and punch jumping here. I could avoid doing all of that actually by using the jet sneakers to make these jumps, but I don't want to. I'm just too stubborn and awesome for it. And this right here is by far the nastiest jump in this level. It normally requires a diagonal punch jump, and you'll need perfect timing if you're unfortunate enough to come here without an item that can kill the archer on the other side. And again, the jet sneakers can also make this a lot easier. In general, the jet sneakers are kind of a crutch for players who don't know the game's mechanics well enough to be consistent and accurate with Willy's various acrobatic skills. But you're never required to use the jet sneakers, which is why experienced players, such as your humble Let's Player here, will generally not waste time equipping them. And now we're on a minecart. I kind of dislike all of the auto-scrolling sections in this game, to be honest. They're really just very simple reflex tests, and even at regular speed, I can barely react in time to dodge most of this stuff. This is the only place in the game, actually, where these big purple mutts appear, and if you take the stage earlier on, they get replaced with those archer dogs instead, which are actually harder to deal with, in my opinion. Again, with the reaction time, I just have a tough time reacting to their initial shots when they appear on screen. That series of pogo bounces across the spikes there is also a bit nasty. And speaking of nasty, it's boss time! Big Eagle here is a noob wrecker. His attack pattern is quite fast, and he can kill you very quickly if you don't know what to expect. With that said, his attack pattern is very short and very consistent. Drop rock, dive, swoop, drop rock, repeat. Once you've figured that out, there is nothing at all to this fight. And even if you haven't figured it out, this guy has hardly any health whatsoever. Just punch him as fast as you can, and you will honestly just beat him in a straight-up damage race, provided you can dodge maybe half of his attacks. And if you play this as your first stage, when bosses deal only half a heart of damage, this fight is just a complete joke. And that's the last of the first 4 stages. Next time we will begin the final stage. Don't miss it. I'll see you then.